All right. So your test scores, I started grading them yesterday. I gotten about halfway through yours. I think I got up to Hussein. And then that was pretty much where I stopped because I had to leave at that point in time. And then last night didn't get anything else done because I was doing stuff around the house or watching a Dodger game. And yay, Dodgers. Woohoo. Thank you for the other team pulling out Snell. Not a good idea. He was doing pretty good. But then again, we also got Turner pulled out, even though he didn't have COVID. That would have been a major problem if we lost and he got pulled out. So yay for us. Boo for the Gen Zers and millennials that went downtown LA and trashed the place. I just don't get it. It's like you're so proud of your town, you're so proud of your little world, and then you destroy it. Just stop. I don't get it. But yay, Dodgers, getting two little bright places in our little world right now, Lakers and Dodgers, bringing something back. So the tests again, if you look, I've graded, I kind of scored, put the points on it. I put like a little dash or a mark on anything that was wrong. All the original pages that were all like matching, every single answer, like a B or C or D or a matching was worth 1 point. So I think the first page was worth 17 points. The next page was worth like 14. The third page was worth 6. And then the last page where you actually had to do your drawings, the front view was worth 5 points, top view 5 points, side view 5 points, dimensions 5 points. So the orthogonal one on the left where you're doing most of your work, that was worth 20 points. And then the one on the right where you had to do the isometric drawing, no dimensions, that was worth 10 points. Okay, so the last page was worth 30 points altogether, but there was 37 other points where you're just matching things. I want to say probably the average right now is probably around 92, 93%. So pretty good. Not too many people got 100%. I'm not sure if anybody has got 100%. Usually I found one or two little things wrong, nothing major, but just a little something. Then I think the lowest grade I've given anybody yet is like a 71, 72%. So I don't think anybody's hitting the D's or F's for sure. But again, I've only graded half the class, hoping for the rest to be just as good. So I'll probably grade maybe the second half today. Hopefully I'll get it done. And again, planning on maybe going over the test on Friday with you guys. So we are now going to move into real CAD design, real drawings of stuff, working with it. Any of you guys actually register for Onshape like we were talking about for Monday? Anybody actually go on and do it, even though I didn't put on the instructions? Yeah, I was going to leave you guys instructions, and it's not a big deal. Again, most of you could probably figure it out on your own. But I was going to leave it on Monday, and then we had 2 meetings, and I was going to do it right after the meetings. And right in the middle of me putting together a little presentation of how to do it, my power at our house went out in Upland. So I was completely out of power until 6 o'clock that night or so, 6 or 7. So I missed that opportunity. I put on the remind, don't worry about it. We'll just move on today. So today we're going to get you guys signed up for Onshape, and we're going to get into it. We're going to be working with it. You're definitely going to want to go split screen if you only have one computer monitor like kind of going on. If you could, you definitely might want to have my presentation on my end, maybe on your iPad or something on the side. And then you can do your stuff the other way. But definitely going to want to have kind of 2 things going on, and I'll keep, I'll take it nice and slow, and I'm recording everything right now just in case you missed anything, and that'll be your homework, is to fill in any blanks. Somebody just asked where's the remind code. If you go to home in Canvas, sign up for reminds right here, period 5, and it's got a little link you just click on and it'll get you into it. All right, so definitely that's the easiest way of doing it. And if that doesn't work, let me know. But I've never had anybody say it doesn't work. So today, we're going to get you all hooked into Onshape, which is a free online design, CAD design, which there are all kinds of ones out there. Some CAD design programs can run you into the thousands of dollars. Some CAD designs actually have like a monthly charge that, if you're working for a company, the company's going to be paying a monthly to keep all the newest fandangled cool stuff uploaded into it. So CAD design can get pretty costly. There's Tinkercad, which is a free one, and some people maybe in middle school play with Tinkercad, or you might have played with it if you have a 3D printer. I've used Tinkercad the first year we did this class, and the second I found Onshape, I like, see you later Tinkercad. It was much harder compared to Onshape, and Onshape is a lot more flexibility, more cool things you can do with it, and it's a lot easier to work with for what we're doing. All right, so I'm going to get you all set up on it, and then we're going to take looking at some of the settings for it, and then we're going to actually start to draw, or get very close to drawing. My plan is to finish drawing a kind of spooky looking robot, I don't know, kind of shape here that for Halloween, something kind of like, I don't know, spooky-ish, but nothing crazy. So go to Onshape. So again, it's just like on shape.com, and you could easily search for it in Google or somewhere, Onshape. It should pretty much come up. No other company's called Onshape. There it is right there, onshape.com. Click on that. And again, if you look below, this is a working engine. And that actually is something you can build inside of Onshape. Again, a lot of companies would have to pay for something like this, but Onshape actually can have you do full-on flywheels and gearing and stuff, and have it moving in connection with another piece. And it's pretty crazy of some of the stuff that you can do with this if you really get into it. All right, so kind of gives you like a little video here of some of the cool stuff that they're doing, the fillets and everything like that. But let's go ahead and get ourselves in here. You're going to click in the upper right corner, sign in. Now you're telling yourself right now, but Hearts, I don't have a registration yet. Well, that's how you're going to get it. So click in the upper right corner, sign in. And it'll take you to this page where I always sign in at. Don't try to do your email or password unless you've already registered. Don't do the forget your password unless you've already registered and you forgot your password. In the lower right corner, don't have an account. Don't have an account? Sign up. That's what you want to click on. All right, so don't have an account, sign up. That's where we're going. And again, if I go too fast on any part, please slow me down, and we don't want you to fall behind on any major things here. So you're going to go ahead and click on don't have an account, sign up. All right. And that will get us to this page, which you're like, wait, that kind of looks like the old page. Onshape is the complete all-in-one product development platform. Sign up below to get started with one of our solutions and our professionals, la. So if you go down, you got three options. You got the Onshape Professional and a professional trial. That's going to be like, it'll give you like a 30-day trial. And then after that, you'll start paying monthly for it. Onshape Makers, that is, again, if you're working with CAD design for, again, working for some kind of public company and stuff like that. Again, that'd be another one that we're not doing. We want the Onshape educational account. Okay, so the middle one. All right, so it's a free education. Best plan for CAD solutions for academic settings for students. Gives students and educators access to everything about the basics, including some more advanced tools, cool configuration, simultaneous sheet metal tools, verification required. So they're going to have to verify that you are who you are. All right, so you're going to click on Education Account. Then over here, you're going to start typing in your stuff. So first name, Chris. Last name, Hearts. Email. I would suggest you use your school's one, but you don't necessarily have to. But what we need you to be able to do is to get to wherever your email is, because you're going to have to verify to be able to log in. So don't be putting down some old email that you don't even know how to get yourself into. At least with the school's one, you can go to office.com and open up your email quick and fast. All right. So I'm just going to kind of do this. I'm not going to go too far with this because, again, I'm already in here. So email, Are you a student or an educator? You guys are a student. School level, we're going to pick K through 12. Not quite college yet. And then we got our checkbox. Of course, always a checkbox. By agreeing, I agree to be contacted by Onshape in relationship to products and services that may be of interest to me. And And here's your privacy policy. It's basically like every other privacy policy you'll ever see. You basically just have to give away your first child, and make sure that you give them 10% of every bit of money that you make for the rest of your life. Oh wait, that's a totally different thing. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just basically saying that we'll have your email, we'll keep it private, la la la. I've been using Onshape and no one's ever had a problem with it. So just click on that little box and you're going to create an education account. All right. From there, I'm going to need you guys to help me, because again, I've already got an account. It's going to tell me that I can't use this and I don't want to have 5 different accounts. So after you create an educational account, what's the next thing it says? Does it ask you more questions, or does it say go to your email?
It's asking for like our school and the school's website URL.
Okay, cool. All right, so you're going to be typing in Los Osos High School. And then what you can do, if you need the email, Los Osos High School, you can do like a search for Los Osos High School. And then just click on it. And there's our web address. So I'll just give it to you so you don't have to go searching for it. It's a pretty easy one to remember. lohs.cjuhd.net. So here's what you'll type in for the website for our school. lohs.cjuhsd.net. Okay, so type in your school, Los Osos High School, and then for our website, use that. Anything else it's asking for on that page?
Yeah, state, country, city, and what we're using Onshape for.
Okay, so state, California, country, United States, city, Rancho Cucamonga, things like that. And then what are you using Onshape for? You'll just be typing in for robotics class. I'm using it for a robotics class. I'm using it to work with my robotics, or I'm not sure if it's a drop-down menu or if you have to type. But if you have to type it in, is it a drop-down menu or a type? I think it's a type, right?
It's a type.
Yeah, just type in robotics class. That'd be fine. Anything else that page is asking for?
No, I was just but now it just sent an email.
Okay. So once you finish that page, it'll probably say, we just sent you an email. Go to your email to verify that this is you. So then you'll need to go to your office.com if you did the schools one and open up your email. And then just click on the link that says to verify it's you. It'll probably take you right back to the website. And then from there, I believe you should be able to log in. Again, this is so much easier if I can walk around the classroom looking at your computers. But you guys are all intelligent, brainiac, Gen Zers. You got this. The computers are an extension of yourself. Blah. Let me know if you come across any little part that you're not sure what you're typing in, or a glitch, or you just came in and you have no clue what we're doing right now. Don't just sit there quiet and spend the next hour and a half completely and utterly lost to what we're doing because you're not going to be in Onshape. So let me know in the chat, or just say it out loud. Let me know if you run across anything that doesn't seem good. I would again put in your notebook, unless you're using the exact same passwords and everything as before for Scratch. I would put in your new password on your notebook so you don't forget it, unless you're using the exact same email password combo. Right. School's email. Is it asking for school's email or school's website? I think it's website, right? Or did it ask for email?
It asks for a website.
Yeah. So Malachi, they're looking for website. That's on the screen right here. lohs.cju.net. Oh, I think you're asking how to get to your school's email. So, Malachi, if you go to office.com, and then you're going to log in using all of your normal district credentials. So your whole 1234556 at cjauh.net, and then you're going to use your 5-digit 12345, and then capital P, lowercase WD, just like you log in on your anything involved in the district all the time, but you're going to do it at office.com. And then from there should be an option for email. Okay, so here's what mine looks like when I'm doing that. So if I go to office.com, I'm already logged in, but this is what it'll look like once you're logged in. You're looking for Outlook. Along the side, it's the fourth one down, right underneath the little PowerPoint P guy. Outlook is your email. Outlook is your email, and again, probably your top one right there should be basically what you're looking for in your email. Okay? You're looking for Outlook. So I'm going to go ahead and get myself in. So sign in. Kristen. And once you guys do it, it'll start picking up your email pretty quick and fast, like any other website, unless you totally block it. All right. So I'm just going to kind of go over a few things. No matter where you're at, I want you guys to go ahead and click on the Onshape in the upper left corner. Okay, it's going to basically bring you home. This is the home page. So if you click on Onshape, it'll bring you to your home page. This is our home page. Not much to look at. Yours is probably blank, but I want to just go over a couple of details about this area right in here. So create, obviously that's to create a new document. So we'll be creating one here in a second, and then I'll walk you through all the default units and where you can change it and stuff. But once we changed it once and get the units we want, we're going to leave it alone. So I'll do the create in a second, but not yet. My Onshape, that's basically where I'm at right now. That's just like my home page. Recently opened, if I click on that, it'll do exactly what you would expect. Recently opened objects. You guys want to see my front yard that I worked on all summer? Here's my front yard I worked on all summer long. Oh, this is actually my house. And this is the front yard that I was killing myself for the past 6 months trying to create this thing. And our basketball hoop here just crashed down in the wind. Messed up my brand new grass. I don't have 5 trees, I've got 4 instead, but I created like a mock-up of my house. I got to finish the tree line, or my roof line and stuff. Got like a triangular shaped place, but that's what I was kind of doing over the summer, was kind of recreating this whole front area over there, because it was all just desert scene. It was like cactus and stuff, and I got little dogs, and so yeah. So recent is, what did you work on most recently? And for me, you can see I've got a lot of stuff, because I've been doing this for a few years now, working in here. Created by me. This one will basically do the most recent created, but these are only by you. Not stuff that somebody shared with you. These are your designs, personally. Shared with me. Here's where I go to see your guys' stuff. Okay, so you're not going to put in a Google form, a code or a email, or like a website address or connection, like a link. You're going to just share with me your project, and then I will see all your projects show up in here, and I will open up them and grade them. All right, so here's a bunch of old ones from last year, and then once I'm done, I'll just remove it from my share, and I won't have to look at them anymore. All right, so this is where I'll basically grade your stuff, is shared with me. Public. Here's the thing about Onshape. Since you are not paying for it, the stuff that you create is public. All right, and no, you do not have to turn them on public. They're automatically public. All right, so if I know what basically the name of your project is, exactly, I can maybe search for it and find it. Unless, if you guys are trying to create some brand new, never been created object that you're going to make billions of dollars off for the rest of your life, then you don't want to have this public free Onshape one. You want to pay for it. All right, that's the situation. But I don't think any of you guys are going to be at that point quite yet. But again, everything that people do is public. Okay, which means you can find stuff. Maybe you want to print a Frankenstein. Like I don't want to create a Frankenstein. That's too much work. I'm lazy. Let me just go ahead and look for a Frankenstein. Maybe somebody else has done a Frankenstein already. I just search for it. Come on, somebody's got to have done a Frankenstein somewhere out there. Come on, looking. I have no idea. I haven't tried this one yet. No Frankensteins? Oh, there's a bunch of Frankensteins. Look, there's his nut. There's a little bolt in the side of his head. There's Frankenstein spelled out. These pictures aren't showing up. I'm not sure what those guys are. Frankenstein looks like a gate. I don't know what that's all about. This actually looks like a Frankenstein. Actually, like something like a real Frankenstein here. Let's see. We can open it up and see it. Let's see. Come on. Hey, look at that. It's kind of like something we're going to do today. Actually, that's a lot like what we're going to do today. That's funny. So there you go. Somebody created a Frankenstein. We don't have to create one. Somebody else already did it for us. So again, if you are just trying to find something quick and fast, public is always the easy way to go. And then your trash is anything that you've been put in the trash that you've deleted, and then you can go in here and delete it as well or restore it back into your old stuff. I'll delete my old holiday stuff. I don't know why it's still in there. There we go. My trash is empty. But if you ever get lost or whatever, you just click on the Onshape at the top, and it will always take you back to your Onshape, my stuff. Okay? So that's kind of what these are all about. You're definitely going to be using your recently opened, and you might use public if you're off doing some other stuff, but for me, I'll never ask you guys to search for anything in particular. Wassy, question? Every step you do, it will automatically just save. Every little detail you do, unless you don't click on the green save button. All right, so you could do a ton of stuff, and then you click on the red button that means cancel, and everything you just did is gone. But if you hit the save button, the little green one, it will automatically save that part, and then you can always go back and redo or undo and do things like that. So yes, it kind of saves, but at certain points, and I'll point it out when we're doing it, if you by accident click on the wrong button, the work you did will be lost. Okay, so I'll explain and I'll show you there. Good question. All right, so let's go ahead and create. Best way to learn is hit create. So we're going to go up here in our home area, create. Now we can create folders, but that's nothing that you guys are probably going to want to do. You can import files from other documents and stuff, We're going to create a document. Okay, a document is basically a CAD design. So create, just click on the little create down button and document. And document name, we're going to call it Halloween Robot, because some people might not know how to spell Frankenstein. And I'm not even going to try to make it look like a Frankenstein. It'll just be looking like some kind of goofy robot looking thing. I don't even know if I want to call it a robot either. Halloween Robot. And hit OK. When you do that, it's going to bring you into your full environment. Okay, and I'm going to point out some of the basics and all the little parts, and we're going to walk ourselves through it and kind of see how this all works out for you. First thing I want to do is, I got to find it up here. Yeah. Okay, so right next to Onshape, you're going to see 3 little lines, and it says Document Menu. I want to make sure we have the right units. Okay, so 3 little lines, Document Menu, click on that. It's showing an instruction when I hit the create. Not sure. Did you guys just pop in here, or was there something you had to do in between? Are most of you here? You're seeing what I'm seeing?
You can just close out of the instructions.
All right, just close it up. All right.
That's easy.
All right, so you're going to go to document menu, click on that, and it'll drop it down. We can rename it if we wanted to. Properties, it gives you all the different stuff. We want to do workspace units. All right, so when you guys first logged on, it was asking you for what kind of units you want to use. Let's go ahead and make sure you all have the same workspace units I have. So click on workspace units. And first of all, we got default length unit. So centimeters, feet, inches. A lot of people feel comfortable with feet and inches. Problem is, though, everything on 3D printers and stuff are in millimeters. So those little tiny marks on a ruler, millimeters. So make sure your default length is going to be in millimeters. All right. Display number of decimal places. We'll go 3 decimal places. That looks like it was the default. We can go none, but that's not very good. Usually 3D printers can go as low down as the 3 decimal places, good ones. Anything more than that, you're kind of wasting your time, all right? Because the printer's not going to be able to do it anyways. Default angle unit. There's radians and degrees. If you're taking pre-calculus, you know about radians. You probably don't like them. We're going to be doing everything in degrees, so 90-degree angles, stuff like that. Again, we'll go 3 decimal places for that one too. Default mass. You guys are probably used to pounds, but again, a pound is quite a big, heavy thing coming off of a 3D printer. Ounces, okay, a little bit better. But again, metric units are usually so much easier to work with. So we're going to go with grams. So a small, little tiny weight, a gram. It'll tell you how much these objects will actually weigh when you print them out, which is kind of cool. And again, we'll go 3 decimal places. Okay, so millimeter, degree, gram. The main ones, more than anything, you got to have it in millimeters and degrees. If we don't have it in grams, we won't probably do much with that, so no big deal. But millimeters and degrees, especially millimeters, you're going to want to have that. Okay, and then here you go. Don't hit the X button. If I hit the X button, everything I just did goes away. Let me show you. If I hit centimeters, oh, I want it in centimeters. Gone. All right, let me go back here. Let's see if my centimeters are there. Centimeters. Where'd my centimeters go? Yeah, you hit the X button. Okay, this is Wasi's question. Will everything I do, be saved? Yes, it will be saved when you hit the green check button. Saved. Now if I go back to, cancel. Now if I go back to workspace units, see, centimeters is still there now. Okay, so I want it millimeters, green check, yes, save my units, yay, I'm good. Okay. Now, we've got a couple things on here. If you look over here, you got an origin. Origin is 0, 0, 0. It's the center of your screen. It's like your, it's where you kind of like anchor everything to it. We're going to use 0, 0, 0 as an anchor. Otherwise, you're just kind of floating out there in space. All right, so we got the origin. And when you go over top of it, you can see it kind of highlights the origin in yellow. We got the top face. Okay, top face is our horizontal face. All right, and again, it highlights it for you. Front face. Front face is kind of going up and down, straight this way. And then you got your right face, which is kind of going up and down, more straight at you. Okay, so we got 3 faces. Everything's in 3 dimensions. Off to the right, you got this cube. This cube is really cool because you can just click on different faces and it will make this look directly like it. So if I click on the front, it's going to make sure that the front is exactly pointing directly at me. So front, now the front is directly at me. Then you got these little arrows to the right and to the left. If I go click on the right arrow, it starts to kind of go towards the left side. And when the left side is directly at me over here, it's pointing exactly at the left side. Now you're like, no, that's the right side. Yeah, but look at the right side. It's backwards. What's the backwards right side? It's the left side. Just keep flipping around. There's your back. No, that's my front. No, the front is backwards. That's your back. Okay, now there's nothing on here, so it's hard to see. Flip around again. There's your right side, exactly pointing right at you. And now you're right back to the front again. You can also go up. And now you're seeing your bottom, which is actually your top upside down, right? Then you got your back, which is your front upside down. Then you got your top, which is actually the top. And then you got your front again. Now, besides just spinning it that way, you can also rotate it like 45 degrees other ways. Now every time you do this, it turns it, let's see, how many degrees? Let's go. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. 15 degrees. It's going 15 degrees. So 15 degrees 6 times is 90 degrees. Now you can actually click on these corners as well. So you can click like here, like on an actual face, but you can kind of go up in these corners, and that'll give you those isometric views. Click on these corners, isometric view. Click on a corner, like maybe bottom corner, isometric view from the bottom end. You're looking at the bottom of the shape. Bottom of the shape. Kind of spinning around, but if I can go up here, now I'm kind of looking at it from the top of the shape. All right. So you can click this. Okay, that works. Okay. The other way that works is a little bit more freehand. Okay. If you right click on your keypad or your mouse, don't left click, right click, hold that button down, and then drag your mouse around, you actually get to be able to move this thing all on your own freehand. Right click, use the right click button, and again, using a mouse is a little easier than using those trackpads, I think. But then again, you guys are really good with trackpads if you have a laptop. I'm not that great with them because I don't ever, even on my laptop, I use a mouse. But again, I'm right clicking and I'm freely moving this thing around. Now let's say you get it all jacked up and you're like, shoot, I don't want it to look like that. I can't get it back. Just go back over here to the little cube, and you can click on, one of these faces, and it'll kind of go back to a little bit more normal. Right? So isometric view, right orthogonal view, right? Or top orthogonal view, or isometric view again. So we can kind of go back and forth, back and forth. Okay, right click and drag. You're going to be doing this a ton. Any questions with the little cube or rotating it freely? And again, it's a lot easier if you were in my room and I could walk right over to your computer there. Mine keeps crashing. This we've been using with our PC streams. It's a little bit above a what do you call them? Chromebook. What kind of computer are you using? Wonder if we have issues. And if we do have an issue, like it just won't ever work on your computer, again, it's web-based, so they're usually pretty good unless you've really got like maybe a really old one. If it keeps crashing, I've never really heard people say it crashes, then we might have to check out one of my PC streams to you. All right, so let's try it out a little bit more, see how it goes. You can always refresh the Onshape, every once in a while, or try to log in and log back out again. But yeah, if this is not working on your laptop or your computer at all, let me know before you leave today, and we're going to need to maybe have you come by the school and check out a PC stream that I know works for sure. All right. And again, everything I'm doing, I'm recording, and you can do this later on some other time. Any other general questions about just being able to rotate this around? All right, so let me kind of put it back to just a little normal here. Another ways you can do it, instead of doing that, if you got a keyboard with the F1, F2, F3 buttons, you can click on them and it'll give you different views. So F1 is not anything I wanted. No, let's try here. Without the F1s and stuff. Oh, maybe not. I'll have to go back and look at maybe my computer, my keyboard's not working right. Does everybody F1, F2 switch to different screens? No? Okay, so maybe it's Shift. Maybe it was Shift 7. Hold on. That's what it was. Shift 1. Sorry. Trying to remember from a year ago. Shift 1, front view. Shift 2, back view. Shift 3, right view. Actually, I guess that's the left view because it's backwards. Shift 4, there's your right view. Shift 5, top view. Shift 6, I bet you bottom view. Yep, top view backwards. Shift 6. Shift 7, isometric. Okay? Out of all those, really what I end up using the most, if anything really, is just Shift 7. Okay, because when I get this all jacked up and it's all over the place and I want it to just go back to the normal way that I want to see it, Shift 7, boom, and it goes and reorients itself. I'm like, there we go, thank you. Okay, because again, I might be some weird place and I just want to see it isometrically. Shift 7. So out of all those, Shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the only one I know by heart is Shift 7. The rest of them I don't know by heart. Shift 7, back to normal. Okay, so we're going to have some different keyboard shortcuts for this. Okay, that definitely. Any questions about that? All right. Now, a couple things. Let's go back over here. Origin, top, front, right. When you kind of highlight over them, you see an eyeball show up. Okay. If you click on the eyeball, it's saying hide the origin, or hide the top, or hide the front. Well, let's click on the eyeball. Hide front. Look at your front face is gone. It's out of there. See you later. Right face. Now it's gone. All I have is the top view. I can even get rid of that. Top view is gone. Okay. Origin, I would never turn off the origin. And the other ones, it depends upon what's going on. I usually turn off 2 of them, and I'll kind of show you which 2 I usually get rid of. Okay, so you can hide those guys. Again, never hide the origin. That's going to be our anchor. And usually I keep the top view always shown as well, because I usually build up. I usually build all my shapes kind of going up. Sometimes I'll build them back, so I might use the front view, but usually I build up. I think of all my stuff usually building up. All right, so you can hide stuff. All right, so up top here, you've got all these cool buttons. These are all for the 3-dimensional stuff. And we're not going to do a ton of stuff with the 3-dimensionals, but we will do fillet, and we will do a chamfer. Fillet and chamfer will definitely work with them. The other ones are really kind of crazy, but again, we can't do any of this stuff until I make a 3-dimensional object. So we got to start off by making a 3-dimensional object. So here's what we're going to do. You first have to decide what face you want to build on. I'm going to build my little robot up. So I'm going to build him on the top face. So you got to go over here, click on the top face, make it highlighted. Now, if you look on your cursor, there's a little number 1 right now because you've selected one thing. If you click on the front face, now you got a little number 2 on your cursor because you've selected 2 things. You click on the top face, or no, what's the last one? The right face. Now you got 3 things selected. So every time you select something, you'll see a number show up on your cursor. Just telling you, dude, you got 3 things selected. Do you really want 3 things selected? No, I don't. How do I unselect? 2 ways. One, you can click back on the object to unselect, unselect, unselect. Or, let's say you have a bunch of stuff selected and you don't want to click on them individually, just hit your escape button on your keyboard. Escape button. Or actually, no, you click outside, that's right. Just click outside the shape, somewhere outside those shapes, and we'll turn everybody off. Click, off. The escape button's another way to turn stuff off, but not to unselect it. So select, unselect, select, unselect, select, or you can go outside, unselect. Okay. So we're going to select the top because we want to build on him. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a shape right on him. So you select what you want to draw on, and you go up here to the left and you say sketch. You're going to sketch something on this shape. The top is going to be my piece of paper. We're going to draw on a piece of paper. Okay, so hit sketch. When you do that, you've got all kinds of new little things that pop up. And we're going to look at almost all of these. Okay? But if you take a look, a new face has shown up on this thing. Sketch 1. Okay, so now we have we're drawing on sketch 1, which happens to be on the top face. If you want to, you can change the name of it. You got a little pencil next to sketch 1. So we'll just say bottom of the head. Bottom head. This is the bottom of my head of the guy, because we're going to have a bunch of different sketches, and if you name them, you'll know which sketch is which sketch. It's a little bit easier if you name them. So I'm just going to call them bottom head. Okay? Now, if you look, I got the front face over here, I got the right face, I got the top face. There's so many things on the screen right now. I don't like that. So I'm going to go over here to top face and turn them off. See ya. Front face, adios. Right face, don't want to see you either. I just want to see the thing I'm drawing on, my bottom head. So there's my piece of paper, my bottom head. Now, drawing on an isometrically cockeyed weird thing like this is hard. So what you can try to do is try to turn it. But the easiest way is to click on the button on your keyboard that's N. N as in nut. Okay? N stands for normal. Normal means you're going to look at the shape directly on. So again, it was like all weird and sideways. I clicked N, and it made it like straight up. Now you might not like it that way, so you can kind of go over here and use the little rotate button. Click, 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 just to rotate it. There we go. Bottom head, it's all straight, like the way I would like to see it. It's straight on. It's like I'm looking at this piece of paper straight on. Nobody wants to draw on it like all cockeyed and slanted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a shape on here. You guys got all kinds of shapes. You got lines. We got rectangles. We got circles. We got arcs. We got pentagons and octagons and all. We'll do all kinds of shapes throughout this period. Let's start off with just a basic rectangle. Okay, this is going to be just the bottom of my little robot's head rectangle. Now, there's a little drop-down menu, so let's take a look at our options here. You got the corner rectangle. So that means you're going to drag from a corner and kind of go up to the right or down to the right. We got the center point rectangle. That means that it's going to draw from a center and kind of do it out. So I'm actually going to want this origin to be like dead center of my entire robot. So I'm going to pick the center point rectangle. We'll do a corner rectangle later. Center point rectangle. Click on that. Now again, there's shortcuts. Look at the R. All I could do is, if I want to, if you memorize these shortcuts, R would basically just turn this on automatically. Click. You're going to go over top of the guy. Now, if you look, the second you go over him, he becomes highlighted. You know for sure you're on him. Don't just like start clicking over here. So go right on the origin, click, and then start dragging your mouse out, and you'll start to create a rectangle. And it keeps the origin always centered, huh? No matter what I do, where I go, that origin is the center of my rectangle. All right, now, how big do I want it? You can actually see the dimensions there. Those are in millimeters. Right now I'm at 102 by 181 millimeters. Now I'm at 39 by 81. We're going to make ours, let's see here, a 50 by 150. Now, if you try to actually do that, like a 50 by 150, it's not easy. You're like, okay, there's the 50, a little bit bigger. You're going to be there a while. Okay, so usually what I do is I just kind of draw a rectangle, make it look like the shape I want, and I just click the button. There we go, I just drew a rectangle. Yeah, but your dimensions are all wrong. I can fix that. Okay, we're going to put our dimensions on it. Two ways that you can turn on your dimension tool. Way up here at the right, there's a little bunch of little arrows sitting right here, a set of arrows. That's the dimension tool. Another way, which is another one you'll totally will memorize, guess what keyboard button you're going to be pushing for the dimension tool? D. D for dimension. So just push on your keyboard D and automatically turns on a dimension tool. Okay, you can see it highlighted right now. Dimension tool is turned on. Two ways I can measure the dimension from one side to the other side. One way is click on a corner, click, go way to the other side of the corner, or the other one you want to go on, click, and then just drag up and you'll see your little arrow start to show up. You can go inside, you can go outside, you can go way out there. Usually you want it more centered, right? This is just to make sure our dimensions are what we want them to be. Obviously, I'm at 174. You might be at 182. I have no idea. So we'll just go ahead and click. Yep, that's the dimension I wanted. There you go. And then it allows you to type your dimension in. Okay? I want this to be 150 wide. 150 wide. And it will automatically change it down to 150. Now, if your dimensions don't perfectly match mine, I'm not going to get all crazy and bent out of shape, but hopefully you'll have all the same kind of looking robot I have when we're done. So it's going to be a 150 by, we're going to go, let's go 75 actually over here. Now, another way, you can go dot endpoint to endpoint, or you can actually, the faster way is just click on the whole segment itself. See how the segment highlights when I go on top of it? Just click on that segment, click, and drag it out, and there's the dimension automatically. So that's your two ways of doing it. Go from point to point, or go from the segment. Click on it. Again, it lets you type it in. I'm going to go 75. So I've just drawn a rectangle on a piece of paper. Woo! Good job. With dimensions 150 millimeters by 75 millimeters. Or 15 centimeters by 7.5 centimeters. Now, if I kind of spin this around and look at it from an angle, you're not going to see anything, but again, like it's a little rectangle being drawn on a piece of paper. You look at it from the side, it doesn't look like anything because I haven't built it up yet. All I've done is the mat. You know how the mats work, right? Just draw the basic shape and then we start to build up. Well, here's how you build up. And this comes right off of basically, we even use it on 3D printers. We extrude. Okay? When basically you want to really be annoying to your mom or dad, you know, it's like, Mom, I can no longer extrude the toothpaste out of my bottle. What? There's no more toothpaste. It won't allow me to extrude it out of the bottle. What are you saying? When I squish the bottle, no more toothpaste comes spitting out. Why didn't you say that in the first place? I did. I said extrude. Extrude means like pulls out. It stretches out. It comes out. We pull it. So we're going to take this rectangle and we're going to pull it to make it taller. We're going to extrude it. Okay? When you extrude something, do not select the outside. We have to select the inside. Now to select, we got to turn off the dimension tool. Okay, I'm done doing dimensions. I don't want to do any more dimensions. Two ways you can turn off the dimension tool. One, you can just click on it, and now it's off. If nothing's highlighted, you're automatically on the select tool. I can select this, I can select this, I can select this, I can select the origin, I can select this. When nothing's turned on up here, the select tool is automatic. Now again, if you don't want to have anything of those selected, just click outside and then you just unselect stuff. We're not going to want to extrude the segments. Imagine those segments being basically floss. Skinny little pieces of floss, and you're going to make those things wider. All it's going to do is give you the thinnest, skinniest walls of a prism you've ever seen in your life. No. You want to build the interior up. So don't select the walls, select the inside. So you can turn on the inside, turn off the inside. We want the whole inside. We're going to take everything that's on that base and extrude it upwards and make it tall. We're going to make a 3D shape. All right? So make sure you select that. Then over here to the left, right underneath the Onshape button, you've got this little like prism looking thing next to this donut guy. If you hover over him, it says extrude. Extrude means to stretch it to make it three-dimensional. So I'm going to click on extrude. Now, when you hit that button, all of a sudden now, if you go sideways, look, it's no longer just a little tiny piece of paper. Now it's like a block. All right? So you kind of see something going on here. But
Could you show how to make the rectangle again? Because I keep trying to do it and it's not working.
All right. So, are you in the little tiny thing that says bottom head? Like, are you in that area? Can you see even a rectangle tool up here? No? Okay. So, you missed the first step. And again, this is where it's so much easier when, let me go ahead and get rid of this. So, let's say the bottom head was all messed up. I can right click on it and delete. And now we're right back to where we were. We might be Bella sees on her screen, like nothing. Okay? Make sure the top is showing. I need that top face to show. Okay? Click on the top face. And click on sketch. You're going to sketch on your top face. You're going to draw on the top face. So sketch. And now you see this new little sketch 1 show up, hopefully. Okay? You can go up here and rename the sketch 1 like we did earlier. There's a little pencil that shows up when you kind of go in this area. And I renamed it the bottom of my head. Bottom head. Because again, we're going to have lots of sketches, and it's easier when they're all named. Okay, so I'm just naming it bottom head. Get out of there. So you've got this bottom head sketch, but then you also got this top face as well. What I did once I had my first drawing going, I hid my top. So I went back over here to top and just hid it, turned off my eyeball, because I didn't want that guy showing up. So now all I see is my bottom head piece of paper I'm going to draw on. Again, I hit the N button on my keyboard. N stands for normal. And it makes it all nice and perfectly straight. I like it to usually see it all perfectly straight. Up and downs, left and rights. I don't like things at an angle. I went up top here to my rectangle tool. And I clicked on the down arrow and chose center point rectangle. So that way it centers it around my origin. So center point rectangle. I went down to the origin. I made sure that I clicked on it before dragging to make my rectangle. So I'm just basically moving my mouse around to make it bigger or smaller. Whatever size you're happy with, you just click on it, and you just made yourself a rectangle. Now the dimensions might not be right. Most likely they're not. So what I did was I turned on my dimension tool to give me some real proper dimensions. 2 ways to do that. The dimension tool is up here to the right. It's got the little arrows, kind of looks like a dimension tool to you. You can click that on and off and on and off. Or you can use your D, like dog, on your keyboard. Dimension on, dimension off, dimension on, dimension off, dimension on. The top one, I clicked on the sides just to show you one way of doing it. Click on one corner, go to the other corner, click on it. The second you do that, you'll see a dimension start to show up that you can move around, put it wherever you want. Click on it when you're happy, boom. And then it'll allow you to type in the size you wanted. We went with 150 millimeters. And then 2, I did this side one as well. I didn't use the dots, I just went right into the segment, clicked on the segment, dragged it out, clicked when I was happy with it, and we went 75. So 150 by 75 rectangle. Now again, if you have any problems with what just happened there, if you don't have it, just like Bella didn't, you got to tell me. Because this is our beginning of the whole entire face. And if you don't have the whole entire face, how are you going to draw a mouth on it? Or an eyeball on it? So you got to stop me. And it's easier if your video's on for me to see your face. Like, yeah, I got that. Yeah, I got that. Just so that way we know what we're doing here. Okay? Anybody have any other issues at this point so far? And again, a lot of you are probably still at the extrude maybe, and you're not sure what to do. All right, so Bella, next thing we did was we clicked in this area of the rectangle, now that we have one, and we just selected anywhere in the rectangle. Don't select the origin, don't pick a side. We want to select the whole area of the guy. And we're going to go up here and hit the extrude button. This was the last thing I was at. So in the upper left corner, right underneath the Onshape, there's a little prism looking shape right next to the donut. Extrude. When you click on that, it no longer is a 2-dimensional shape, it turns into a 3-dimensional shape. We just took that rectangle and pulled it out of the paper. It's like magic. Now, let's take a look at a few options over here. Extrude 1. So new is when we have shape, when we have stuff that already doesn't even exist. This shape never existed in this world, so it's new. Adding means you're adding on to a shape that already exists. All right, but we don't have a shape yet, so we're not adding. Remove is like me drilling holes in for like an eyeball or an ear, but we don't have any shape yet, so definitely not removing. Intersecting, I've never used yet. I've never done anything crazy with an intersection yet, so I couldn't even tell you. We definitely want the new. Couple things over here. You got a little arrow. Right now, if you look on the thing, it's pulling it upwards. If you look, there's the origin. He's on the bottom. We're going up. Well, you can actually extrude down if you want to by just clicking on the arrow. So it's up right now. Now he's extruding down instead. Up, down, up, down. So we can do that. You can actually drag the arrow and do it like by hand. Higher, 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 higher. No, 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 wait. Down, 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 down. You could totally drag the arrow yourself. Okay, up or down and how much you want. So you can grab onto the arrow. That's one thing you can do. Or you can just click over here and flip-flop it. The other way that you can do how high you want it, how high you want it, how high you want it, is just type it in right here where it says depth. Right now mine's at 78 millimeters. I want ours to be 200. So where it says depth, do 200. And if you hit the tab button, it'll show you what 200 looks like. Tab button, it will automatically go there. Now mine's off the screen. So let me give you a new little guy that you should know. Besides D for dimension, F. Go ahead on your keyboard, hit the button F. F stands for fit. It's going to make the thing fit on your screen. Sometimes it might be too big. Hit the F button. It fits whatever is on your thing on the screen as good as possible. Makes it fit nicely. Not too small, not too big. You have it really small? Oh, that's way too small. F, fit. There you go. Now, some of you might go, how the heck are you going bigger or going smaller? Here's where a mouse comes in really handy. Use the scroll button. Use the scroll button. If I scroll towards me, it gets smaller. If I scroll away from me, it gets bigger. So that's another thing is if you don't have a mouse and you don't like the way the track pad on your laptop is working, because that's all you have, let me know. I'm going to maybe drop off some mice that we have in my room here, and I'll drop them off at the front office, and you'll just like check one out for maybe the year. Okay? If you don't have a mouse and your trackpad, you're not a beast on your trackpad, then this is the way it works. On the trackpad, if anybody's ever actually tried it, if you squeeze like on an iPad, does the trackpad make it bigger or smaller? I have no idea. I've never tried that because I don't use laptops. Anybody have a trackpad they're using? If you squeeze it in,
yeah, it does get bigger and smaller.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Good to know. So yeah, that's how you'll make it bigger or smaller if you don't want to use your mouse. Just use like on an iPad or on your phone or whatever. You can just squeeze in, squeeze out on the trackpad, and it should also make it bigger or smaller. So I mean, you can go crazy big, right? I mean, crazy big. Keep zooming in, zooming in, zooming in. But again, if you get lost, F, fit. Now when you zoom in, here's another thing to pay attention to. Where's your mouse? When you zoom in, it's going to zoom in wherever your mouse is at. So if my mouse is near the origin, it's going to zoom in on that origin and keep the origin in sight. But if I zoom in over here to the right, it's going to zoom in to the right. If I zoom in at the top up here, it's going to zoom in at the top. So wherever your mouse is, that's where it zooms. Okay? Wherever that mouse is at the time. What else? That's it for this part. So we got a 200 millimeter tall block. We're happy with it. It looks good. It looks just like mine, more or less. We hit the green button. Now, what happens if I hit the X button? Okay, Wasi, this is for you. Does it automatically save everything I do? Let me hit the X button. Oh, where'd my thing go? Yeah, you just canceled. Well, how do I get back in? Do I click on this or whatever? Well, if you want to get back into the bottom head, where I just did all that stuff, double click on it. Double click on the bottom head, and now you're right back to that whole two-dimensional drawing business, but you got to double click on the bottom head. Otherwise, you're out. Now you're in the three-dimensional world. You want to go back to the two-dimensional world? Bottom head, double click. You're right back in here. You can select your little rectangle. And you can go right back to the extrude again. Try it again. Heart, sorry about that, I messed up. 200 tall. Tab. It'll show you what it looks like if you hit the tab button. And then the green. I'm happy with that. It's what I want. Green. There you go. Now you got a block that we're going to make a robot looking face on it. Oh shoot, I just totally lost which where I was at. Shift 7. Alright, now we're kind of back to normal again here. Okay, great. There's the front. There's the back. The top. Front again. Okay. Kind of looking like that. There we go. Thank you very much. You know. F7 or Shift 7. Makes it kind of right back to where you were. Any problems with making the block here? Got to make sure we're good. Say it now. I've had people go the rest of the entire period and their block's not made and they're just like staring at me now. All right. We're going to, let's start off with making, we'll start with his nose. Okay, easy enough. So I'm going to basically make a nose kind of right in the front of his face here, kind of in the middle. All right. And I'm going to make it just a simple square nose. Okay. So just like before, if you want to draw on any one of these faces, like I can draw on this right side, I can draw on his back, I can draw on the left side, I can draw on the top, I can draw wherever I want. But if I want to draw on a face, I select the face that I want to draw on. Okay. And I go up here and I say I want to sketch on it. I want to sketch his face. Okay, so I select the front. That's where his face goes. Sketch. And you'll see a new sketch 1 showing up. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and rename this so I know what everything is. This is his face, man. I'm about to do his face. This is my face 1. So everything that's going to be on here is on his face. I don't like that it's all angled like this. So again, some of the keyboard buttons you're going to want to know. N for normal. Make it straight. Make it all nice and horizontal. There we go. Cool. And maybe it's too small right now. F, fit on my screen. There you go. It fills up the whole screen with his face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a nose. And I'm going to go smack dab in the middle of his face. Now you might be like, well, how do you know it's going to be the dead center? Well, I'm going to show you a couple tricks here. So I want it to be dead center. I'm going to make it a rectangle. So if I'm going to go dead center, it probably makes sense to do that center point rectangle again. If we're going to go dead center. So center point rectangle. Now you'd be like, where is the center? Where is the center? Where is the center? Take a look. If you go anywhere near the origin, it pops up the origin. And remember, that origin is dead center, isn't it? So you know you're right on the center right now. If you're over it. If I go to the left, it's gone. I'm not at the center. Right? Not there. Center, it highlights it. Well, I also want to be dead center going up and down. Well, how do I turn that on? Here's what you do. Go to the left segment over here. Okay? Anywhere on the left segment, if you go up, 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 you'll see a little square show up. That's the center of it. That's the midpoint. You are dead center right now going up and down. Down here, I don't see it. Go up, 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 up. segment shows up. Come down from the top, segment shows up. That's your midpoint. Now all you got to do is go to the left. See how it kind of keeps showing up? Straight, straight. Wait till you get to the midpoint. There it is. See how they kind of crosshair it for you? That's the dead center of the whole shape. Again, I can do it over here. Go to that side, go down, 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 find the midpoint. There it is. Go over. Now, if you go up a little too far, it turns it off. Go back there. Oh, there it is again. Go over, go over, go over. There's the center. Click and start dragging out. We're going to make a little square nose. All right. Click. All right, let's make our dimensions on the nose. Let's make it simple. So remember, go to the dimension tool up here, or click the D button, D for dimension, turns it on. I'm gonna make this a perfectly square nose, 50 by 50. 50 millimeters. Go to the side, 50 millimeters. Now, just got a question. How do I delete a shape? Well, I definitely would get there at some point, but let me show you how to delete. Let's say the square was totally messed up. Like I put it in the wrong place. I didn't want a square all along. I'm sorry. Turn off the dimension tool, and you can select parts of it. You can highlight the whole thing and get the whole thing, or you can do pieces of it. I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you, and just hit the delete button. Or backspace. Delete, it's gone. Now, let's say, oops, I didn't want to do that. Control Z, undo. Oh wait, I did want to do that. Here's another thing, up here in the left corner. This is for WASI as well. What happens if I make a mistake? Well, you can redo it and undo it. See the little arrows? So redo the delete. No, wait, I didn't want to do that. Undo the delete. There it is. Now, Tim, if we want to just delete a part of this, let's say, like only the top part, I can just select that top part and delete it. Hit the delete button, Control Z, undo, or backspace also deletes. Okay, and there we go. I deleted the whole entire shape by accident. Go up here to the upper arrow here, undo. Try to do the undo a couple times and see if it comes back. If it doesn't, there are certain things it can't undo. You might have to start from scratch again. It's possible. Question is, how do I find a center again? One more time. So, starting from scratch. Don't have my little rectangle here. So, center point rectangle. And the origin down here is dead center. So if I go to the origin and then just start to go up, you see a little line show up as long as you stay at the center. All right, so I'm at the center, I'm at the center, I'm at the center, I'm at the center. But what about the left and the right center? That kind of stuff. Well, that basically will come from the sides. If you just kind of hover over a side, I didn't click on anything yet, I'm just hovering over it. And I go up, 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 trying to find a center, you're going to see a square show up. The center of that square shows up, you're at the midpoint. And just drag to the right, and just keep it going until you find where that crosshair for the middle one shows up as well. There we go. I got my 2 crosshairs. That's dead center. Click. And start to drag out, and you know that you're dead center on the thing. And then I dimensioned it. I clicked on my D button. I made it a 50 by 50 square. Everything I'm doing right now is being recorded. If there's anything you don't get, then that's what your assignment is going to be over the next couple days, is just to go back and fill in what you maybe didn't get. All right. Now, if you look from the side, again, right click and look at it from the side, all you're going to see is a rectangle being drawn on my face, right? All we're doing is doodling on somebody's face. But the nose has come out of the face, right? So what do I got to do to my nose here? I need to extrude it. Okay, so turn off the dimension tool, click in the center of my nose, and we're just going to pull that right out of his face. So extrude, upper button here. There's also a Shift E, it looks like, for shortcut. I don't know that one. I just go up here, click on it. And if you look at it from the side now, you start to see a little nose pop out. Okay. That nose right now is 25 millimeters. I can make it, like a big nose or a medium-sized nose, 50. Let's see, what looks good? I think 25 looked actually pretty good. 25. Just a little like pudge nose sticking out, the face. 25. Now if you see, up here the new button's not turned on. I didn't do that. The add button is on this time. Why? I'm adding to a shape that already exists. Before, there was no shape, so everything was new. I'm adding this time to something that already exists. Don't hit the X button, because everything you just did with the extrude is going to go bye-bye. If you're happy with it and it's 25 millimeters, hit the green button, because you got yourself a nose. Boom. And now we got a nice little nose sticking out the front of his face. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hole right in that nose. We haven't done a hole yet. So I'm going to show you how to do a hole. Okay. So we're going to click on his nose, on that front face of the nose. Click on that. I'm going to draw on the front part of his nose. I'm not drawing on his face anymore. I'm drawing on his nose now. Click on the front part of his nose and sketch. And again, it says sketch 1 because I'm going to go ahead and rename this guy nose. That way I know what everything is. So here's my nose. What I'm going to do is stick we'll go ahead with a circle. We'll stick a circular hole right in the middle of his nose. It's like one big huge nostril, but he's a monster. His nostril's on the front of his nose, not underneath his nose. Okay? So we're going to go dead center here, big old hole. Again, if it's all cockeyed and weird, just hit the normal button, N. Makes it nice and straight. You can zoom in if you want, just to focus on the nose. Let's do a circle, dead center here. Right to the right of the rectangle is a circle. And again, just like that one, we got a couple options. Center point circle is the main one most people will use. 3-point circle, almost never use it. Ellipses we'll use later on. But we'll do a center point circle. Click on that. And that's an easy one to remember. Circles are C. Click on your keyboard C. It turns on the circle tool. Again, let's practice finding that center. Where's the center? Where's the center? Again, if you go off to the side here, go down, 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 down. There's your center. Now, let me show you another way of doing it without using the origin. I also want to center it from up here. Find the center up here. Yeah, but I lost the other center. When you basically find the first center, and then you go find another center, that old center is actually remembered, and you can actually, it shows up automatically for you. So again, how did I do that? I went over to the side. I found my center. Yay, there he is. And then I went up to the top here, or the bottom, doesn't matter. Go find your center. There he is. Just kind of go down until you run into the old center. There he is. There's the dead center of his nose. Click, drag out. We're making a circle. We're drawing a circle on his nose. Okay, click whenever you're happy. But now we need to dimension it. Now, remember how we dimension circles? It's that little thing kind of pointing at it. So this will be your first time with a circle dimension. So click on D or the dimension tool, one or the other. Don't go to the center. Well, you could do it two ways. You can go to the center and then click anywhere out here. And it will actually, well, sometimes it does, maybe it won't. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Just click on the circle itself. Click on the circle anywhere on the circle and drag out. I got to turn mine off. Start over again. Dimension. Click anywhere on the circle and that's it. And drag out and you're going to see the dimension showing up. Anybody remember what that 0 with the slash through meant? Was that radius or diameter?
Diameter.
Diameter. If we did radius, it was an R. So it's diameter. Let's do a diameter of 30 looks good.
Where'd you click in the circle?
Anywhere. Just anywhere on the circle. So again, let me delete this. Bye-bye dimension. And let's say the circle was like way too small. I clicked on my dimension tool. Just click anywhere on it. Just make sure the circle's highlighted. Anywhere you want, click and drag out and you'll see it pop up. And let's go 30 millimeters. All right, so fit. I just drew a circle on the front of my nose. I haven't done any real thing besides just drawing. I just took a felt marker and drew on your nose. That's really all I did. And the dimension is 30 for the diameter. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and extrude it, but we're going to do like an opposite of an extrusion. We're going to unextrude it. We're going to remove. So click on the circle, inside the circle. Make sure the circle's selected. Don't select the outsides of the circle. Don't want that. We just want the inside of the circle. Make sure it's like yellowish circle. Extrude. Click on extrude. Now again, it's going to want to add. No, I want to make this a nostril. We're going to hole. We're going to hit the remove button. Remove. Now if you look, it's going backwards and it's making like a hole in there. Let's not extrude it 25. Let's only extrude it 10 back. I don't want it to go all the way to the back of his face. Just 10. Just like a little tiny hole in his nose. See, it doesn't go all the way through the nose. It only goes like halfway through. So we've got like this little tiny nose, a little hole, little nostril. He's got one big nostril in his nose. If that looks good, if you got a 10, you hit the green button. And now you've got a little hole in the front of his nose. All right. So perfect timing. I'm going to stop there. All right. When you come back to class on Friday, we need you to have this looking like this. Okay? If the dimensions are a little bit off, I'm not going to worry too much about that. But I need a block. I need hopefully a block of a nose that's pretty much centered. Hopefully centered, but at least be there. And then a little hole in the nose, a circular hole. Again, if it's a little bit bigger or smaller than mine because you didn't get the dimension right, I'm not going to worry about that, but I'm going to want a hole. Okay? I've recorded everything so you can slow it down. You can start from the beginning and it will go faster, trust me, the second time through. But as long as you got this, you got no homework. If yours looks exactly like mine right now, you got no homework till Friday. All right? On Friday, we're going to give this guy some eyes, a mouth, some teeth, a hat. We're going to drill a hole through his brain. So we're going to do a bunch. We're going to give him some ears. Friday, we'll go a little bit faster. Questions about anything? If you have this done, you're ready for Friday. If any part of this is not done, watch my video, go and fast forward to the spot you missed, and get it down.
Mr. Hart,
Uh-huh.
if you just exited out of this, would it save?
It's saved right now. So basically, as long as you click that little X or the little green button, it's saved. So if you go to Onshape right now, because again, everything's closed up. You don't see anything open. Nothing's got the little green X button. If I go to Onshape right now and go back home, there's my Halloween robot. There he is. I'm going to go ahead and click back on Halloween robot. And there he is right back again. Okay. Somebody's asking about the hole. My hole is not working here. So let me go back to my nose here. And if you're good to go, you can leave. I'm going to just do one more time that nose. So delete. And then let me get rid of the nose. Delete. So one more time if you had a problem with the hole. So here we are, just got our basic stuff, nothing else. I'm going to first draw my circle on my front face. So I click on that face, and I'm going to sketch a circle on him. So I got my nose. I'm going to draw on the front face of this nose. I'm going to go ahead and change my sketch 1 to nose, so I know where my nose is. All right, so there's my nose. I'm going to draw a little circle on him. Let me zoom in a little bit. Draw a little circle on him. So again, 3-point, find my center. There it is. Find my center. There it is. Go find the center. There they are. Click, drag. There's my circle. Dimension it. I think we said 30. So 30. So you got your little circle hole there. Turn off the dimension tool. You need to select the circle, not the outline. That's not what we want. Click that off. Nope. It needs to be the inside of the circle, not the center point. It's got to be the inside of the circle. That's what's got to be highlighted. So not the outline, no. Not the center, no. Just inside here somewhere. Okay. Make sure it's selected. Extrude. Turn off the add, switch to remove. A lot of times it will make it go into the shape now automatically for you, so that's good. So remove, and I don't want to go 25, I only went 10 deep. A little small nostril nose. So it's only going 10 deep now. You can kind of see the shadow in there of how deep it's going. Don't hit the X button, everything you just did will go away. Hit the green button, and you got your hole. Okay. Now again, if there's little tiny details on this that you're not getting, as long as you attempted, you know, we'll get them along the way. You'll learn certain details along the way. And again, this is just, we're just kind of showing you all the tools as we go along.